Welcome to Sint Maarten, a tropical island in the Caribbean. Before we get to exploring this beautiful island, I want to share with you what all it takes to get here. This was our first time in the Caribbean, so it was a big learning curve. To get here, as it was a bit short notice, I had to make sure, I get my passport. My old one had expired, so I had it expedited, paid extra for quick turnaround both going and returning to me. You can get the forms at the post office and the passport photo I just got at Walgreens. So we flew on American Airlines, and thankfully we were poking around on the site before our flight, and Lloyd found a link that talked to the required documents to enter this country. If we had missed that, it would have delayed us at the ticketing counter until we filled it all out, and they might not have let us get to the island anyway. The reason why is because they required proof that we had a certain amount of money available to us. They kind of wanted us to have cash on our person, which is what they stayed on there, but I figured, I could probably get away with it in our account. Thankfully, the American Airlines people know us, but we did have most of the money on our person, and the rest of it was in the account. But in case they needed the proof, I could have always pulled it out and had it shown in the actual in hand. They required us to show a printed copy as well, almost of everything. So the email confirmation for the hotel and the car rental, everything. I wasn't taking any chances. We also needed, of course, a confirmation of our flight for customs when we landed there. It was a huge packet of information. We just had to have it with us. We could show not only the airline people who had to approve us before we even got on the plane, but also customs. They didn't want us to show anything digital, no email, nothing on the phones. So, yeah, that was a thing. But it's a good thing we saw that, or we would have been in trouble. You can see here in this video that we are approaching the island. It was beautiful. And I'll talk about my passport here in a minute, but I want you guys to really see this beach. This is kind of crazy. It's coming into view as we approach the island. Pay really close attention to the landscape and see if you can't tell. It's hard at that angle, I know, from the plane. But there were people actually standing on the beach as the planes fly directly overhead, and it is super low. Catch it right there. Oh my gosh, they get blasted by sand, and yeah, they willingly do that just for the photo op. Isn't that crazy? The wind drafts can blow you right over. We visited this beach later on, but we opted to not get blasted by sand. And you get blasted not only from the planes arriving on the island as you go by, but also when they go to take off. And I believe I caught some footage of that. I'll show you in another video, but it was pretty wild. But people stand there actually, aren't they nuts? No, I don't think so. I'm not doing that. Oh my gosh. So when you get off of the plane, they take you and put you on a bus, and that takes you all the way around to the customs area of the airport. They divide you in half when you get there. If you have families, they go to one side and everybody else goes to the other side to get your passport scanned. Unfortunately, because my passport was new, I couldn't get it scanned because the picture page comes laminated. It was a bit of a pain. It meant I had to go to see a customs agent directly, so I had to go stand in line with the families. Unfortunately, it took a little longer to do that, and they were asking you pretty pointed questions. Where are you staying? How long? What for? Blah, blah, blah. But you can see that there are quite a lot of cars on this side of the island. But it didn't take long to get to the car rental agency. There was a bus that took you there, and then when we got into the rental car, we had to just drive down the road just a little bit, it wasn't far, to find the hotel. The hotel was difficult to find because there wasn't a lot of good signs for it. It was hard to figure it out. It took us a few times traveling around. But isn't that beautiful? Just really pretty views. But we stayed at the Hilton Vacation Club Flamingo Beach. I'll have a nice room review or two for you in another video. This is a tropical island in the Caribbean. It's divided in half. Where there is a French side, it's pronounced Sint Maarten, and then a Dutch side that is governed by the Netherlands, Sint Maarten. It's very close to the same pronunciation. I'm sure I'm flubbing it. My apologies, both Dutch and French. The Dutch side is busier as it's more urban, and the French side is more rural. Both sides are very pretty, however, with spectacular views. We did take a tour of the whole island, so be looking for that longer video coming soon, but I wanted to cut it up into smaller segments so you aren't watching for hours. But so look for the playlist for Sint Maarten and I'll add the videos there. Isn't it beautiful? Just a gorgeous view. I've also included a link for more information in the description below so you can learn more about Sint Maarten itself. I just love seeing all the boats and ships. It's just, I've always had a thing for marinas. But you can just sit back and listen to the wonderful sounds of the water. It was just amazing. But stunning views, the big mountains. It's just, One of the things I noticed is the wildlife. While walking along the shoreline, I saw these cute little birds. They're called Ruddy Turnstones. They were walking on the rocks. Ruddy Turnstones are a common visitor to Sint Maarten, particularly during the winter months when they migrate from their breeding grounds in the Arctic tundra. They are often seen on the beaches, rocky coasts, and mud flats. They are also found in salt ponds, which the island was known for once upon a time. So Ruddy Turnstones are small, stocky shorebirds. They have distinctive black and chestnut breeding plumage. They're known for their habit of flipping over rocks and shells with their chisel-like bills to find food. So here they're on the shores of Sint Maarten. They focus on marine invertebrates, such as crustaceans, mollusks, and barnacles. They also eat things like bird eggs, carrion, and even human food scraps. They were adorable. Oops, look out! Ruddy, you're about to get wet. Oh my gosh. What is nice is that you can walk all along the water's edge and see so many gorgeous views of the mountains, the mountain peaks dotted with homes, and the beautiful beaches below. Isn't that beautiful? It was very, very warm here. It did not drop below 76, 78 at night, believe it or not, and it was around 81 or so, 83 in the day. So we had finished dinner and took a wee walk. We began to head back to our hotel, and I could hear this awesome island music. So this is not something I added. This is actually the music you hear as we were standing there. So as I'm scanning the shoreline from across the way, I ended up finding the man who was playing. It's just so lovely. And here's the man who was playing that music. It just adds to this great island atmosphere. There wasn't really anybody there. He was just doing that by himself. The restaurants weren't really open, for dinner yet. No one had come for dinner yet. And then he was just playing. It was nice. But there's so many yachts, boats, and ships docked here. It's just amazing to see them all. Thanks for watching this part of our vacation. Be sure and like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on that bell to be notified when I post more videos, so that way you don't miss anything, and you can see a sample of the tour restaurants and the hotel room. It's amazing views. So until then, thanks for watching, guys.